Hello fellow book nerds and fangirls, and today I will finally be doing a Top 5 Wednesday because I haven't been doing my Top 5 Wednesdays lately because none of them interested me. And for what today means to me and how very distraught I am at the moment, I thought I would actually do Top 5 Wednesday to cheer me up. So, this Top 5 Wednesday is actually kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like top 8 Wednesday on my thing, because our topic for today is top 5 characters that we liked in the beginning but don't anymore. And for mine, I had a lot of characters that I really respected in the beginning, and now I don't really like them. Now, the first one, number 8, is really an honorable, or should I say dishonorable mention, because this is like a bad list, but the first one I'm gonna say was Laia from an Ember in the Ashes series, because I thought she was gonna be this real powerhouse, and I thought she would prove me wrong, and I thought she'd be really stronger than what she is in the books lately. But so far, I haven't seen a lot of character development as far as Laia is concerned. I've seen like a little bit, but as far as I'm concerned, she could have a lot more with the situation she's in. But I don't really mind for now, it's fine. But I'll just put that right here, and hopefully my books do not fall off like they did the last time. I guess I should say I actually got 9, because I just looked, and might as well include these two in my dishonorable mentions. So it's gonna be Edward and Christian Grey from Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey for tying this, because Christian Grey is just like a human billionaire version of Edward Cullen, because it started off as 50 Shades of Grey was a Twilight fanfiction, so that's why I'm gonna state them both, because they're both because they're both basically the same person. They're both very controlling over their significant others, and they don't let them believe in free thinking for themselves, and every time they do try to free think for themselves, they get chased for it, and I don't really respect a guy that does that. So, whenever I was a tween and reading this in my tween/teenage years, I didn't really get the seriousness of how bad these two individuals were, but now that I do, it's kind of like I don't like them anymore. It's really horrible how they do that, and I'm ashamed for admitting that I used to like it. Okay, coming in at number 7 is actually one that is a little bit of a dishonorable mention / I didn't like her at the end, and that was Madeline's mom from Everything Everything. I can't get into why I didn't end up liking Madeline's mom. At the end, if you really want to know my thoughts on it, and you really want to know what Madeline's mom did, I do have an Everything Everything book review that you could go check out, and you could find out why I don't like Madeline's mom, and why I liked her at the beginning, but then I lost respect for her. But she's low on the list because of what she did. I kind of understand, but at the same time, I didn't understand. So, that one. So, coming in at number... What is this? Sorry. Scarabin. Coming in at number 7. 7 is someone I actually still don't like as a character. I respected her at the beginning. I respected the fact that she was Rose's friend. I respected, even, agreed with some of her political views, because, believe it or not, Vampire Academy does have a lot of politics in it, and that's me being not a fan of politics, she really made me interested in some of them, and that's Lissa from the Vampire Academy series. For me, Lissa was too selfish in the books. I didn't, at first, I liked her. I thought she was funny. I thought her and Rose were the perfect duo. And then what happened in Spirit Bound happened, and I didn't really like her anymore. I didn't like Well, no, actually, it's not Spirit Band. What happened in Shadow Kiss was just like the tip of the iceberg. For Lissa, I'm just over here like, okay, I kind of like this chick. But when the series went on, I slowly started disliking her as a person in general, and just the way that Rose is such a good friend to her, and then she doesn't even have Rose's back most of the time. I'm just over here like, I'm done with Lissa. So let's move on. Coming in at number 5 is a character I just think is stupid in general. I liked her at first. I felt sympathetic towards her at first. And then the books just went on and on and on. And I didn't like her whatsoever. And I guess I could have 2 people in this book included in here. Because there was 2 girls I liked at first. And then they just got dumb. Whether it be from screwing the other one over because of a guy, or being that they just made every wrong decision they possibly could. And that is Ever and Haven from the Evermore series. The reason why I don't like Ever is basically because she makes such terrible decisions all the time. Like, at first I sympathized towards her because all her family had died in the car crash and she was the only one left, and I really liked the relationship between her and Damien and her and Rowan, even though her and Rowan weren't really a thing. I still liked them somewhat, but then, all this stuff between Rowan, was it Rowan or Roman? I can't remember. Roman and Damien happened, and then Ever just seemed to be in the middle of all this shit, and she kept on picking the wrong thing after wrong thing. And don't even get me started on Jude, because I didn't like Jude in the first place. I thought he was a totally unnecessary character. But don't even get me started on her love quadrangle in this book series, because, it's kind of like, despite every dumb decision ever did, I still loved the last book. The last book was worth the wait, but I still ended up hating Ever in the end of it. And the reason why I hate Haven is because Haven is such a backstabbing bitch. There's no other way to say this. You do not screw over your best friend over a guy. I don't care who the fuck he is. Yes, you just don't do that. So, I really liked Haven at first. I really thought she was a cool chick. I really thought she was an interesting character. And then she just went downhill for me, and I didn't respect her anymore. So, next, so coming in at number 4 is another character that really makes dumbass decisions all the time, and there was a whole plethora of characters that I could have chosen from this book series, because at first I really liked all the characters in this book series, and then 12 books later, I can't even finish the last book, and it's the last book I need to complete the series, and I'm just over here like, I really need to push myself to read that book, because I really need to finish this series, and do a series review for it as a whole. Well, and that is, I could go with multiple characters from the House of Night series, but I'm gonna choose the main one, Zoe Redbird. Because at first, I really liked Zoe, I really respected Zoe, I really thought she was a badass chick, and then somewhere between book 3 and 4, she became really dumb. Now, I get that she's a teenager, I get she makes mistakes, but for being the chosen one, she is really a dumb chick. I mean, for the chosen one trope, she is not a good example of the chosen one. She is not strong or capable in any way whatsoever. She relies on guys, and get me started on how she goes through guys like she's using tampons or something. It's just, ew. It's just, really, this book is really, I want to say misogynistic, but I can't really say that because I don't really know if it fits. But, yeah, I'm just, ended up hating her in this book series, and I ended up disrespecting her so much. By the end of it, by the end of the book series, I didn't even care if she lived or died, honestly, and that's sad with a character that I used to really respect, and now I don't really give a shit if she lives or dies. I haven't read the last book, maybe she dies. I want to know who dies in the last book, because I have not read the last book, so, and I don't feel like wasting my time reading the last book at the moment. So, coming in at number 3 is another girl that I loved at first, and I really felt sympathetic towards her, and then in the end of the series, she made a really dumbass decision, and I ended up not liking her whatsoever. I loved her throughout the first 2 or 3 books. I want to say it's a quad, whatever that 4-book series is. It was a quartet series, and I ended up hating her in the very last book, and it made me sad. But that was Eugene from the Stormborn series. Or was this the Dark Swan series? I can't remember. I think it's the Dark Swan series. Don't get me wrong. But it would be Eugene from the Dark Swan series, because I used to really respect her. I really liked how if you want a strong female character who doesn't really need a man to save her, I would go with Eugene from the Stormborn series, because I really loved Eugene at first, and I really still respect Eugene as a character, because one thing I love about Richelle Mead's writing is that she makes really strong female protagonists that, yes, they could rely on man, but they also don't need a man to save them, and they also save men, and it's really great. It's really refreshing, and that's what I love about Richelle Mead's writing, is because it's so feminist. It's so women are equal to men. Men and women can do everything a man can do, and I like that. But at the end of the last book, Eugene really got to me with a very stupid decision that was really, yeah, it was her decision, but I don't think it was the right one. I didn't agree with the decision that she made in the last book, and no, I'm not talking about the love triangle in this, I'm talking about something completely different that I just don't agree with happening. If you read this series, you know what I'm talking about, but I didn't agree with her whatsoever, and I really ended up disliking her at the end because I didn't feel respect for her as a person. So, plop. Okay, coming in at number 2 is someone that I liked at first, but I really hated in the second and third book, and that is Calla from the Nightshade series. Oh my god, with this book. Who knew that a book that held such a pretty covers could end up in tragedy? Because I liked Calla at first. I was fine with Calla. I found her to be a really strong protagonist in the beginning, and then she just turned into a really weak protagonist because she found the one, and that is just did not sit well with me. And I hate what she does to people, and I hate her love interest even more. I don't hate the one who didn't win, but I hate the one who did. And anyone that would really choose a very sexist asshole over a guy who found her as his equal is really stupid to me. And that's why Calla gets a number 2 spot. So, last but not least, my most hated person that I loved at first and ended up hating at the end is probably a very, very common one for these lists, and that is Caleb Pryor from the Divergent series. I loved Caleb at first. He was such a funny character. He's really smart too, which is why at the ending, what he did to his sister and how he betrays her at the end really grinded my gears, and I hated him for it. And he's just a really big dumbass, and I don't know why Triss saved him multiple times. She should have just let Caleb die. But unlike Caleb, Triss is actually a very good sister, and I do not like Caleb Pryor, and it's just, grrr, I want to rip this book in half. I want to throw it out this window right here, because I'm standing next to a window, and all I could do is just throw it out. Throw it out and go, hey, anyone want a free book? So, there you guys have it. That was my most hated, the characters that I used to love, but now hate. comment down below and let me know your characters that you used to love but ended up hating. And I will see you guys for the next video. Bye!